Welcome to CultureAlley Mandarin. 你好. This is Basic Mandarin Lesson 25. In today's lesson, we will talk about movies. Let's start by reviewing the conversation we had in the last lesson. Do you like pets?
Yes, I like them a lot. And you?
I also like them. Do you have any pets?
I have 1 cat and 2 dogs. And you?
I have 3 birds and 5 fish. Here's how it will sound in Mandarin. 你喜欢宠物吗？
喜欢，我很喜欢。你呢？
我也很喜欢。你有什么宠物？
我有1只猫和2只狗。你呢？
我有3只鸟和5条鱼。Great! Here are some sentences we covered earlier. I have 3 birds translates to 我有3只鸟. While I have 1 sheep translates as 我有1只羊. Similarly, I have 5 rabbits becomes 我有5只兔子. And I have 1 cow is translated as 我有1只牛. Lastly, I have 5 fish becomes 我有5条鱼. Excellent! Let's begin today's lesson. Today, we will have a conversation around movies and actors and learn about different types of movies. Let's start by looking at the conversation we'll cover today. Once again, we have with us Mark and Lisa. Do you like movies?
Yes, I do.
What movies do you like to watch?
I like to watch comedies.
I like to watch horror movies. Which actor do you like the most?
I like Leonardo the most. Do you like him?
I don't like him very much. His movies are boring. All right, let's start. As always, we'll start with a simple one. Do you like movies? For this, we will have to learn to say movies in Mandarin. Let's take a look. Movies translates to 电影, which is pronounced with a falling tone on A and a falling rising tone on I, like 电影. Good! In Mandarin, do you like movies? Literally translates as you like movies question particle. Let's take a look at the breakup. You translates to 你. Like becomes 喜欢. Similarly, movies becomes 电影. And question particle here is ma. Thus, do you like movies? Translates to 你喜欢电影吗? Good job! Recall that in Mandarin, we can answer in the affirmative by simply using the same adjective. Thus, to answer the previous question positively, all we need to do is use the adjective like. Hence, yes I do simply translates to 喜欢. Great! The next question we ask is, what movies do you like to watch? For this, we need to learn the word watch. Let's take a look. Watch translates to 看, which is pronounced with a falling tone, like 看. Great! Thus, what movies do you like to watch? Translates as you like watch what movies in Mandarin. Let's take a look at the breakup. You translates to 你, while like becomes 喜欢. Similarly, watch becomes 看. And what translates as 什么. Finally, movies becomes 电影. Thus, what movies do you like to watch becomes 你喜欢看什么电影? Great! The question, what movies do you like to watch, can be answered using a variety of statements. Here are 4 of them. I like to watch comedies. I like to watch tragedies. I like to watch horror movies. I like to watch documentaries. Let's learn how to say each one of them. I like to watch comedies literally breaks down as I like watch comedies. Let us look at the translation of the word comedies, and then at the structure of this sentence. Comedy, or a comic movie, will translate as 喜剧片, which is pronounced with a falling rising tone on I, a falling tone on U, and a high level tone on A. Let's try it again. It's 喜剧片. Excellent! Now let's look at the breakup of this sentence. I translates to 我, while like becomes 喜欢. Similarly, watch becomes 看. And comedies will be 喜剧片. Thus, I like to watch comedies will translate as 我喜欢看喜剧片. Great! Now let's cover the remaining 3 directly in sentences. I like to watch tragedies becomes 我喜欢看悲剧片. Where tragedies or tragic movie translates to 悲剧片. 悲剧片 is pronounced using a high level tone on E, a falling tone on U, and a high level tone on A. Once again, it's 悲剧片. Similarly, I like to watch horror movies will be 我喜欢看恐怖片. Where horror movies translates to 恐怖片. 恐怖片 uses a falling rising tone on O, a falling tone on U, and a high level tone on A, making it 恐怖片. Excellent! I like to watch documentaries translates as 我喜欢看纪录片. Where documentaries translates as 纪录片, with falling tones on all I, U, and A. Once again, it's 纪录片. Great! All right, it's quiz time now. Let's see if you remember what we've covered till now. How do we say, do you like movies in Mandarin? Do we say, 我喜欢喜剧片吗? Or do we say, 我喜欢电影吗? Instead? Or is it, 你喜欢电影吗? The correct answer to this question is, 你喜欢电影吗? Let's see another one. How do we say movies in Mandarin? Do we say 喜欢 or 电影? Or do we say 喜剧片 instead? Movies translates as 电影 in Mandarin. Hope you got that one right. How do we say watch in Mandarin? Do we say 看? Or is it 什么? Or do we say 喜欢 instead? Watch literally translates as 看 in Mandarin. How do we say tragedies in Mandarin? Is it 悲剧篇? Or does it become 喜剧篇? Or is it simply 恐怖篇? The correct translation of tragedies in Mandarin is 悲剧篇. Great! Now let's have a small conversation about actors. Let's start with the sentence, which actors do you like the most? For this, we need to learn the words most and actors. Most translates to 最 and is pronounced with the falling tone, while actor translates to 演员 and is pronounced with a mid-rising tone on both the A's, making it 演员. Note that as actor translates to 演员, male actor becomes 男演员, and a female actor or actress becomes 女演员. Also recall that which translates as 哪, while 个 is the measure word that is used for people. Great! In Mandarin, which actors do you like the most translates as you most like which measure word actor. Let's take a look at the breakup. You translates to 你, while most becomes 最. Similarly, like translates as 喜欢, and which becomes 哪. The measure word used here is 个. And lastly, actor translates to 男演员. Thus, which actor do you like the most translates as 你最喜欢哪个男演员? Wonderful! The next sentence, I like Leonardo the most, literally translates as I most like Leonardo. Let's look at the breakup. I is 我, while most becomes 最. Similarly, like translates as 喜欢, and Leonardo stays Leonardo itself. Thus, I like Leonardo the most becomes 我最喜欢 Leonardo. Excellent! Alright, the next question we ask is, do you like him? This is an important question as it talks about one of the standard ways of asking yes or no questions in Mandarin. This entails putting the positive as well as negative form of the verb in the question itself. Let's take a look. Do you like him becomes you like no like him in Mandarin. Let's take a look at the breakup. You becomes 你, while like translates here as 喜. No becomes 不, while like becomes 喜欢. Lastly, him translates as 他. Thus, do you like him translates as 你喜不喜欢他? Very good. Let's take a look at the next sentence. I don't like him much. Translates as I don't too much like him. Let's look at the meaning of too and then proceed to the sentence. Too, as in too much, translates as 太, which is pronounced using a falling tone. Good! Hence, I don't like him much becomes 我不太喜欢他. The next sentence, his movies are boring, translates literally. However, since the to be verb is not used with adjectives, it becomes his movies boring. Let's see the meaning of the word boring. Boring translates to 没意思, where 没 means not and 意思 means meaning. Thus, his movies boring translates as 他的电影没意思. All right, it's time for another quiz. Let's see if you remember what we've covered till now. How do we say actor in Mandarin? Do we say it as 演员? Or is it 制片? Or does it become 电影 instead? Actor translates as 演员 in Mandarin. Hope you got that one right. How do we say I like Leonardo the most in Mandarin? Do we say 我喜欢最 Leonardo? Or does it become 我最喜欢 Leonardo? Or is it simply 我喜欢 Leonardo? The correct translation of this is the second option, 我最喜欢 Leonardo. Here's another one. How do we say, do you like him in Mandarin? Do we say, 你喜不喜欢他? Or is it, 你不喜欢他? Or does it become, 你不喜欢他没意思 instead? Do you like him translates as 你喜不喜欢他 in Mandarin. Now let's take a look at the last question. How do we say his movies are boring? Is it 电影很没意思? Or is it 他的没意思? Or is it simply 他的电影没意思?他的电影没意思 is the correct translation of his movies are boring. Hope you did great there. Now that we've covered the lesson, let's have the conversation we started with. As always, first in English. Do you like movies?
Yes, I do.
What movies do you like to watch?
I like to watch comedies.
I like to watch horror movies. Here's how it would sound in Mandarin. 你喜欢电影吗？
喜欢。
你喜欢看什么电影？
我喜欢看喜剧片。
我喜欢看恐怖片。Here's the remaining conversation in English. Which actor do you like the most?
I like Leonardo the most. Do you like him?
I don't like him very much. His movies are boring. Here's how it would sound in Mandarin. 你最喜欢哪个男演员？
我最喜欢 Leonardo. 你喜不喜欢他？
我不太喜欢他，他的电影没意思。Superb! Alright, it's time for the culture leaf of the day. Today, we shall learn about the schooling system in China. All citizens must attend school for at least 9 years, which is provided free of cost. The Ministry of Education reported a 99% attendance rate for primary school and an 80% rate for both primary and middle schools. In 1985, the government abolished tax-funded higher education, requiring university applicants to compete for scholarships based on academic ability. They allowed the establishment of private schools in 1980, and today there are over 70,000 private schools in China of all levels and types. China has had a major expansion in education, increasing the number of undergraduates and people who hold doctoral degrees five-fold from 1995 to 2005. The number of higher education institutions has also doubled, going from 1,022 to 2,263 in a decade. The picture here shows schooling kids at a primary school in Jishishan County. In the next lesson, we shall cover a conversation at a restaurant where we will learn the names of important food dishes. Hope you enjoyed your lesson today. See you at the alley for the next one.